want to start off this video by saying life is one hell of a ride. You know, you gotta go through hell to make it to heaven. That's the truth. You know, you hear that saying. You hear that saying. I know you heard that saying before. We gotta go through hell to make it to heaven. As you get older, you realize that that saying is for everyone, really. That's the truth. Now, don't let it get confusing to you, okay? I don't mean you gotta go and work for Satan to get to heaven. That's not what it means. No, it means you're gonna face hard comes, and you know you go feel like you're in hell before you get to heaven. There's no doubt about that. Even if you live a perfect life, I'm pretty sure you'll get bored. And even that, well, even if you don't get bored, you're gonna have to be facing losses. If anyone deserves to be brought back from the dead, man, it's the good people in this world that got taken from us a bit too soon, sooner than later. I'm talking about this because last night we lost my Uncle Robert. He passed from cancer. His organs shut down. He's been battling it for like 3-4 months now, probably even a year or two. Because honestly, I think he told me at one point, like, yeah, I had this for a while, but I just now, started getting it checked up in the past 3 months. And then eventually, his health insurance ran out. And the doctors didn't want to do any more for him. He tried his best to survive, but when it come down to it, they wouldn't help him. This is happening a lot. And for those that think I'm crazy for not wanting to get good medical insurance and wanting to have actually no medical insurance at all, I get it why you think I'm crazy for that, because if I get, badly injured, it's going to be a fortune to cost, or I can tell them I'm not going to pay it, and you know what they're going to tell me? Well, we're not going to help you. We're going to let you die. Call me crazy for that. At the end of the day, I think doctors and healers, that's the way I used to view them, as healers. If you're a doctor, nurse, dentist, anyone, geometrist, whatever you call them, Yanidis, or I don't even know, for the skin. Any type of doctor, I'd call a healer. And of course, I wouldn't think of them as a spiritual healer. They'd be obviously a normal person that has the medical tools to save your life when you need your life saving. But as I got older, they're not healers. They're scammers. They do it for the money. And God we trust is on our money, right? What does God think about that? Well, for my religion, and as a God for my religion, I'll tell you, I hate it. I freaking hate it. You got the technology, you got the power, then save them. If you can do it, do it. What do you mean they gotta pay you for you to save their lives? Saving their lives is payment really enough. Being a good person is payment enough. And that's who we lost. My Uncle Robert, a good person. Maybe that's it. Us good people. You see, if us good people had control over everything, it'd be like that. We'd take payment as we do. Like, for example, like how I do, I got Jeffrey Espion exposed and I got thrown in jail back in 2015. I didn't get him, but I helped. I was a big part of the help. Only 14 people were at him at the time, and I was one of the 14 or 15. I forgot how many now. But but yeah, and you know what I got in return for that? $23.69. Also, I got all my old stuff taken down, terminated, erased from the internet, like as if I didn't exist and I didn't fucking worth the damn. I wasn't worth the damn because I was being good people. See? If us good people had control, it wouldn't be like that. It'd be exact freaking op. It'd be better, that's for sure. It'd probably be even opposites. It really would. Like health insurance, what's that? Like within 5 years of us good people taking over, people would forget about health insurance. People would be getting, like there'd probably be a food cart driving around giving out free food. You know, to those that are just hungry because we wouldn't be greedy, you know. We wouldn't need to be greedy. Because the good people would have control and be taking care of things. That's sad they let them die like that. As older I get, I keep losing trust for the healthcare system in America. I really do. And that's not opinion. That's my fact. Like, that's my belief. I'm losing trust in them. Like, what? Is the only time they're going to help us for free is if we're being invaded and attacked and shot at by other people? Is that, not by other countries in a warfare, you know? Would it be the medical soldiers that come help us? And it'd be weird because if medical soldiers nearby, you're going to get saved. If you go to the hospital, guess what? Arm in the leg or you don't get saved. The arm in the leg got shot. And now you want to take it. It's really not fair. And I know there's other YouTubers going through this right now. Like my favorite YouTuber, my most favorite YouTuber out there, McJuggernuggets. I'm sorry for your Aunt Jackie passing yesterday. And you know, or that this week, whenever it happened. And the reason why his aunt passed away is because the doctors weren't willing to help her blood clot in her leg. A blood clot in the leg. That's a poke. You poke the blood clot and you let the blood flow. Heck, I'm not a doctor. But I know this because I watched House. Why would you let us good people die like that? Do we only get a certain amount of time? Like once we get past 60 or 50, or no, it's not 60, that's too old. They don't let us live that long. Once we get past 55, that's when they start, you know, okay, you need to push them. What do you mean someone needs to push us? What have we done to you? You're too good. You're trying to make it too easy. Or not enough money for that's the whole thing, it's money. And on the money on the American dollar bill, what's it say? In God we trust. Does God trust us though? What would it matter if we trusted God if He don't trust us? That's why I gave up on the healthcare system. I do trust God. And I believe God trusts me. Because He knows. I'm out here doing exactly what He would probably be doing right now. Telling you all the facts. Trying to figure out a way to fix this crap. Look, back 2 or 3 years ago, I told you all, I don't want to have health insurance anymore. I'm sorry, but I give up on the health insurance. For one reason, the first reason was because I wanted to get off the sleeping pills. Like, it's sleeping pills. I'm a human. I should be. Dogs and animals, they can sleep. Why can't I, you know? Bugs sleep. Everything freaking sleep. Plants sleep. Why do I need medicine to help me sleep? I don't. Just got hooked a little bit to it. So, I gave up on the health insurance, and that really helped. I haven't took the sleeping pills for the past 2 or 3 years now, since I gave up on the health insurance, because they won't give them to. I did try to get them, I'm not gonna lie, but They said you don't got the right health insurance. This is gonna be $160 for 30 sleeping pills, 10 milligrams each. $160. Holy crap! I get a bunch of stuff with that. Let's just say, okay, anywhere. I could get a bunch of fast food with that. I could get a bunch of online shopping with that. I could get pretty, not probably a lot, but a decent amount of outfits picked out for $160 if I shop at the right place. And just because I don't have the health insurance, that's what they want me to pay for decent sleep. But since I haven't had the health insurance, you know what? I opened my eyes. I realized, hey, I was using that stuff, but online it says you're only supposed to be using it up to 2 to 3 years, and then by then you should be better. If not, you know, it probably should just stop. It doesn't really tell you what. It doesn't tell you what, if it doesn't help, what to do. Well, I'm gonna tell you what to do. If it doesn't help within 2 or 3 years, like if you're taking Ambien, Zolpidem, sleeping pills, and if it doesn't really help you cure that insomnia or help you get to sleep without the medicine within the 3 years, then completely stop it. Just give up on it. Honestly, it's gonna be hard. That's the crazy part. You know, this stuff that's supposed to keep us healthy is actually just making us addicts. So what's the difference between a doctor and a gangster that slings on the street? Well, I'll tell you what, I don't see a difference. I can't. They both get you hooked. They both get your money. And when you ain't got the money, they ain't there. And you're left to suffer. This is the problem with health insurance. It really is. It's a big problem. It's getting a lot of good people killed, especially now. And it's crazy because we gotta face this, I forgot the word of it, insufficient or something like that, where they price gouge and they make the prices of everything higher. Gas, food, even clothes. What, do you want us to go around naked? It's like, or wearing hand-me-downs only? It's too expensive. Everything is too expensive. Even the water. And they don't even want you to know that you can create your own medicine. You can find out ways to create your own medicine. But can you find that information how to exactly make that medicine that you want to make? No, it's hard to find. Trust me, I tried many times. I have tried. Like I'm thinking about if the doctors can sit there and put chemicals together and make this medication, I'm sure I can go out and find something similar because that's what they used to do, before we had doctors. Here's some herb. Here's some special herb. Here's some roots. Rub this on it. Rub da-da-da-da. Eat this for a few weeks. Bam, you're cured. Holy crap, what is that? That's medicine. Now, it's in pill form today. And I guess since it's in pill form, they want to keep it hush-hush, so we can't go making it ourselves and trying to save ourselves because they want to take our money. Who is they? I wish I knew. I just say the system. This whole system. I mean, obviously, like I said, everything has risen in prices, and at the same time, we had to go through that whole COVID situation, getting sick and stuff. So think about that, okay? We're facing price gouging going up now, right after, what do you call that? A big major disease that goes off, causing a lot of people to get sick and going to the hospital. So it's like, dang, you're gutting the cash cow. That's what they're doing. But this is weird because, see, I learned this term, gutting the cash cow, from the movie Blood Diamond. It's a movie about Africa and how, like, these people are diamond mining, and during their diamond mining expedition, Africa decided to riot to fight against the government and take back what was theirs, their money. But here in America, It's happening opposite when you think about it. The government, or the system, whoever it is, making these stupid ideas, they're taking our money. We're the cows and we're getting gutted for the cash. That's the bottom line. So this has happened before. It's just happened opposite. So if this is just theory too, by the way, folks. This is theory, but still, I mean, come on. Like, you see it yourself. You go through it yourself. I know that because most of you are from America that view these videos. I see that it says 80% American, 6% UK, and then 6% India, and 6% Russia. Or Germany, my bad, I get those two confused. But yeah, I see it, You're facing the same thing as we all are. You can't hate me for saying this, because it's hurting us. The civilians, the people. And you know what? We might not be behind the brains of the country, but we are the face of the country. You know, we show all the rest of the world what's going on here. And we need to start being more honest and real, like how my uncle was at past. He was always truthful, always truthful. I don't think he. Well, honestly, with his last half of life, I don't think he ever lied. I'll be honest with you all. I know that's that's surprising to hear, but it's doable. I haven't lied for the past 6 years because once I saw the truth from him, so honest, and it inspired me to start telling only truth, not even little white lies, not even joking lies I'll do, because it's not worth it. It's a lie. A lie is a lie. And so I decided not to go on the trip to the funeral because it's a long drive. And last time I done that trip, when I was basically pulled an all-nighter before the trip, which would be like now, because I haven't got good sleep in the past 2 days. I'm very tired right now. That's why my eyes are darkened. But when I came back from Kentucky last time, oh man, it sucked. My legs were hurting for like 3 days after. And I'm sorry, dude, but look, here's the cool part. My uncle taught me how to be, honest and truthful. Well, guess what? I can't make that trip now. I just can't do it. Be honest and truthful with you, I don't want to go through that pain just for a vessel when it comes down to it. The soul is gone. It's off who knows where. But yeah, I'm not going to put myself to that pain again. I know it's a hard road trip. You have to have good sleep beforehand. For sure, if you don't want to get cramps and stuff like that. And trust me, you might not get them when you're young, but when you get older, for sure it happens. It sucks. But you know what really sucks is the fact I want to be telling you all stories about my uncle and, telling you the type of person he is, and here I am complaining about the healthcare system. So I'm going to say one more thing. See that light go on? Even brighter? I'm going to say one more thing about the healthcare system. And I guess this is a brand new quote, quoted by the new creator. It's this. It's funny how healthcare can have also free healthcare. Isn't free healthcare no healthcare? And you get help for free? That's no healthcare, right? Having no healthcare. At least that's the way I see it. Now, also, there's a term out there saying the biggest trick the devil played was to make the people think the devil didn't exist. So when I hear a term like free healthcare, I think that's not good enough. Free healthcare isn't good enough. Just do your job and save the lives. That's my quote. I know, kind of a long one. I added a few more words to it when I just thought of it just now. But, hey, it is what it is. Um, I knew my uncle that passed away like as long as I knew my parents, basically, honestly, because he lived in the same apartment as us. We lived in this 3-home apartment, and we lived in the middle floor, and a stranger lived at the top floor. They'd say it was a crazy lady. I say it was a witch. And then at the bottom floor there was my Uncle Robert and his 3 kids. Well, at first it was just him. And then his, I don't know if it's because his wife passed or if she just, I think actually like she dropped those kids off and, you know, went on doing her own thing, and she passed later on actually. But she passed from a driving accident, driving around a dangerous corner of a road up a mountain. Crazy. That's an extreme way to go. Honestly, every time they tell me that story, like I can view like you know those old Grand Theft Auto games where you're looking at from the top. I can see it for some reason. Like I could see it happen, and they don't tell me it in full detail. I mean, I guess one time they did tell me in full detail, not full detail, but more detail than they tell now. Now they'll tell you she crashed on the road over the mountain. But before it was like, she drove to the railing, and yeah. And I don't know, they must have told me more detail, but I was so young I forgot it. But whenever I hear the story now, even though it's just a shortened version of it, she crashed over the mountain, I can still, like, imagine it, how it happened. Must have been a crazy one, honestly. Like a crazy way to die is what I'm saying. So, she dropped her kids off eventually, like probably when I turned 2 or 3. Like basically when my brain developed memory, that's when she dropped the kids off there. Or not memory, but let's see, probably 2 or 3. Because I have memories before that too. But very vague, very little ones. And my mom would say, when she dropped those kids off, you hated it because you would always go down there with your toys and play with Uncle Robert. He would always be willing to play toys with you. Everyone else, not really. Not even my sister. My sister was playing Super Nintendo, Mario all the time, or she was out with her friends. Parents, they were either out with Robert, my uncle that passed, or, they'd just be too busy. My mom played with toys with me sometimes, but Robert would play with me the most time with the toys. In fact, it's cool because, like, later on in life, when I turned, I think, like, around 8 years old, I was in Kentucky, and I caught a flu for the first time, and I was like, oh, I couldn't handle it. I was so weak and tired, but at the same time, I didn't know what was happening, so I still tried to play and act like a young kid, like an 8-year-old at the time. And at the end of the night, like, I was sitting in the middle of the living room floor, just playing with my wrestling toys, just for, like, probably not even 5 to 10 seconds. And then Robert comes over there. He's like, you want me to play with you? Because no one else was playing with me. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm too tired to play. I don't think I can play with toys right now. And then he went off and he started telling everyone in the house. There was a lot of people in the house at the time. Man, Dalton doesn't want to play toys anymore with me. I guess he thinks I'm boring now. And I felt so bad. I kept telling him and everyone else, no, I'm just too sick to play, you liar. He wasn't like he was just messing around, of course. But it did cheer me up. Like, I thought it was funny. So I didn't really feel sick as he was doing it. And then the puking started, and yeah, then I felt sick again. But then everyone knew in that house knew I filled up a bucket that day. I filled up a bucket up there, and it was upstairs too, so they had to carry a full bucket, like a big one of those big Home Depot buckets, down the stairs, and dump it outside. Because I couldn't do it. I was too small, I was too young, and then also I was too sick. But my cousin hated doing that. That was funny. He's like, "Oh my God, you puked so much." Like, I know, right? I didn't even say sorry to him. But then again, hey, I couldn't help it. I did say thank you, though. Yeah, I didn't say sorry to him, but I said thank you. Yeah, my uncle was a cool guy. He was like basically the life of the parties, too. He always told you, like, he'd come up with these crazy, the thing is, like I tell you, he spoke the truth. And from speaking the truth, he's told, like, crazy stories. And honestly, since he told the truth so much, all these stories he was telling us was true. He wouldn't sit there and make up a story just to seem entertaining, no. Because he had an entertaining life. And he shared that with us. You know how there's like different types of the parties. You got the person that likes to dance and get other people to dance. Then you got the people that like to drink and party hard. And then you got what my uncle was, someone that would sit at the party and just chill, but tell awesome life stories. Those are the three life of the parties right there. And he was one of them. Guess what kind of life of the party I am? All the above. All the above. I swear to you. I promise you that. When I get on the dance floor, I pull people in. I don't even try to get people in. It just happens. Like crowds just. I'm like, okay. And then I get nervous. I'm like, I'm gonna have to have a smoke. And I don't want to stop dancing, so I'm like, I'm gonna have a smoke right here in the dance floor. That's what I do. And this makes it even more fun for everyone else, surprisingly. But yeah. Oh, excuse me. Had something in my throat. Um, Here's an interesting story about him. So, he loved rock and roll and metal music, is what I know, for sure. I don't know what other music he liked, but I knew he liked metal and rock and roll. He liked AC/DC, for sure. And so on Facebook, he would be posting all these like rock and roll and metal albums, right? And if you ever seen a rock and roll and metal album, you'll see they look crazy. Like of all the CD albums out there, your rock and well, not your rock and roll, but your metal albums, which he would mostly post, cover art was so wild and abstract and just it might seem brutal, but when you really look into it, it's like the most art put into the album of art covers when it comes down to for most genres. When you think about it, honestly, think about it. Like with your rap music, you might have a giant sign or something, like giant words, or you know, just basically street stuff. With country, you're gonna have a picture of the singer. With pop art, picture of the singer again with lights behind them and making it look colorful. And rock and roll, picture of a singer with a picture of a flag or some kind of skull in the background, right? But metal albums, they could have skeletons on them. They'll have dragons on them. They'll have wizards on them. You know, they go with the fantasy side. They want to really like it's weird too to think about when you think about it. Like, how is it that they're the most artistic when it comes to album covers? They just are, though, I guess. But but yeah, so he would be posting those images of metal album covers on his Facebook page, and we didn't know. Excuse me, we didn't know that it was metal album covers because not a lot of us in the family listened to metal, especially back then. Only very few. And so, dang. And so, people were asking him like, "Are you okay?" Like, why do you got all this crazy death stuff, the skulls and the devil stuff on your Facebook page? And he said, "Man, I just like metal, or I like rock and roll." That's what he said. I even had to ask him too. I was like, "What's with the skulls? There's so many on your Facebook page. It's like a graveyard." But yeah, that makes sense though now. I mean, I guess it always made sense to me because I understood. Well, that's cool art, you know. That and plus it's art from music you like. That's real. I didn't like that he didn't post like in the pictures he had posted. It was like just the art album cover. Somehow he was able to find the image without the band name on it, or somewhere like that. That's how some metal album covers are too. Like I said, they're the most artistic. They don't even focus on their name being shown. But yeah, that was a fun story. And my uncle lived an interesting life. And he was a really good person. Here's an example of how good of a person he was. In Kentucky, there was this one guy that my cousin married, and no one liked him because he was a straight up prick. And even to me, he was. That's why I'm able to say this because even to me, he was a prick. I mean, I'll say it. Rest in peace for him. But still, and once he passed, no one came to his funeral, or no one came to his side of the bed when he was on his deathbed. But one person did. That one person was my uncle. He said, "I knew no one was going to show up, so I didn't want the guy to go alone, you know, even though he was an asshole." Oh, dang. Now, when he told me this, I didn't understand it at the time. You know, I'm like, I tried to understand it, but I really didn't understand it. I just thought it was like a cool thing to do. But later on, I ended up watching this episode of Louis C.K., a really funny show. And in the episode, a famous comedian died, but since he was a comedian that did edgy content or edgy humor, you know, meaning mostly racist and absurd jokes, that no one or because he was also like, you know, mean behind the cameras or something like that, not abusive, but pushy. He's a prick, basically another prick that died. But Louis C.K. went to his funeral, and Robin Williams went to his funeral, and Louis C.K. and Robin Williams are sitting there talking after the funeral, and they're like, you know, that must be harsh to have a funeral with only two people that came, and those two people hate you. They're like, yeah, I know. And then so they made a deal where it's like, all right, if I die, you come to my funeral. If you die, I'll go to your funeral. And that way, at least there's one person there. When I watched that episode, I rethought of what my uncle did for uh, that guy my cousin married. And I was like, oh, it made sense to me then. I don't. I only knew one person that was like that, and that was that guy I just told you about. Everyone else I know, I don't. I think they'll have a lot of people at their funeral. You know, they lived a good life. So I feel like I don't have to worry about that much. But I'm pretty sure one day. Actually, no, there is this one person I still know. I don't think you all watched like, could it be me? No, I don't think. Actually, yeah, we're YouTube buddies, but I saw this one kid growing up that had an unfair life, very unfair, and he kind of brought it upon himself. But now I'm realized, like when I got older, not now, but as I got older, when I became basically, I don't know, after I graduated high, or no, not even after, but like after middle school. Yeah, after I graduated middle school, I understood what he was doing for the past grade school and middle school, finally. And I'm like, oh, that's sad. You know, what he would do, I don't really want to say because then everyone's going to know, everyone that knows him and him himself is going to know who I'm talking about. But honestly, I haven't seen him post a video for a while, so who knows? Probably already happened. Hopefully not. But what he would do basically is tell people, "You better stop bothering me or bullying me because I'll tell my grandma and she's in the FBI." You know, like how kids do today when they're on the game. They'll say, "My my mom, my dad works for the game they're playing, so you better stop bullying or you better, treat me with respect." That's what he would do growing up before that even was a thing. But he would use his grandma and say that she's in the. Well, the camera died. Not died, but the camera ran out of space 2 times. And I don't know what else to say to end off this video. I guess rest in peace, Big Robert, is what I should say. And honestly, it's gonna probably feel um, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna feel a little bit weird in Kentucky with them. That's for sure. Next time I do go, because it's like that safety, when someone's keeping you safe, and when they're gone, it feels weird. That's all. That's for sure. It's gonna be weird for a while. I'm pretty sure down there that live with him, they're gonna because last time we were there for the Blazing and Chilling episode, uh, who lived with him was his mom and his son. Yeah, that was it. Just them three. Well, next door they had my other cousin and her husband, and then on the other side they had uh, Big Robert's mom's sister, I think. It's a little bit choppy over there. Like I don't know how. I forget how we're related, honestly. It's confusing to know who's the sisters and brothers when your grandma had 13 kids. That means I had or no, my grandma had 14 kids. So I have 14 uncles and aunts. with a lot of them, it gets confusing on knowing which one. Who's who? But yeah. So there's quite a decent amount of family that lives, that lived, or lives, where my Uncle Robert lived. So for sure it's gonna be weird for them not to have him around. But then again, there's one thing for sure about my Uncle Robert. He was a ladies' man. He knew how to be a ladies' man, and he made himself a ladies' man. Like, he had some stories there. Some stories I can't even share on YouTube, honestly. Like, that's what really sucks about, well, not, I mean, what really sucks is, last time he was here, he came here, like, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 months ago. When he knew he was, like, his body was actually, there's something going on. And while he was here, I wanted to record him and have him, be on YouTube for you all. But every time I turn on the camera, man, of everyone I knew, I know, it's easy to get them on the camera, it's easy to get them on the videos. If I really want someone on the videos with me, I can have them on the videos with me, right? Uncle Robert, I couldn't. Because he was just too wild and he spoke his mind. Random too. He'd be hearing us talk on these videos, and next thing I know, I hear him say something like, "Oh, I gotta cut that part out now." Can't say that on YouTube. You just be, right, funny stuff. But yeah, there's quite a bit of things he said where there'd be no way. I don't know how to adapt. I don't know how to beep things out that good, so. So he beat me, honestly. He was the only one that didn't have to be on the videos because he knew how not to be on the videos and break all the rules for the YouTube. Like, he was breaking all the rules for the YouTube. There's no way I could put him on video from morning to night. Yeah, me beat there. That's for sure. But, I wasn't upset at that. I guess that doesn't really suck because when you think about it, that's really smart. He was probably thinking about back when I recorded my other two uncles. They were sitting around drinking and telling jokes, and I thought it was the funniest thing ever. So I opened my laptop and I faced at them, and they had no clue whatsoever. And I recorded them for like 15 minutes, just telling jokes and drinking. Sadly, I lost that laptop and I lost the video because back then I wasn't posting videos online, so it was just a video for the family. I'd bring my laptop over and be like, "You guys gotta hear these jokes, man." Like, I don't know why they're not comedians. And it turns out, actually, my Uncle Albert, he was like a singer or a comedian, one or the other, at Chicago here. Not here, but, near here. That's wild to think about because I always thought he looked like, my Uncle Albert always looked like Elvis mixed with Johnny Cash. That's what my Uncle Albert looks like. Or looked like before he passed. Well, at least they're all together now, probably having a drink and telling jokes again. I have no doubt they'd be doing that. Just sitting on a long couch in heaven or something. Sitting there chilling. Being the life of the party like they were when they were alive, when it come down to it, I guess, letting all this off, I'm not worried what's going to be happening to my uncle in the afterlife because I know he's been such a good person, or as good as he can in his last. At least that's what he claimed to me and what he showed to me. So I can tell you, yeah, he was a really good person with his last few years. Of course, he was a troll to some people, but I think that's because, like, it was like the way you joke with your family members. You might punch them, you might tell too mean of a joke by a mistake towards them, but you don't do it out of hate. You do it just to be funny and out of love. And I think that's what happened there with some people with him. He never was like, trolling me or nothing like that. He knew better. Everyone knows better not to troll me. Because I only give one chance and I don't use a switch. So I just use my hand as quick as I can. And I'm sure he was proud of that, honestly. I know there's this one time where he upset me and he looked at me like, oh man, I did something bad, like he was a kid or something. And I had to stop my anger, and I'm like, I can't be angry at this guy. He's too good of a guy to. He made one troll mistake toward me, and that's fine. He sees I'm serious about, not taking the jokes too far with me or trolling with me, because I'm more of a serious person than most people when it comes down to it, at heart, I guess. I can't help that. Just who I am. Me and trolls, we just don't get along. And that's why I hate it when I get trolled by people I really care about, and that upsets me so much. But as long as they see it and they don't do it again, then, you know, I, I trust that they know better. Not to step on my blue suede shoes, speaking about Elvis. But anyways, that's all I'm going to say for that. R.I.P. Big Rob. We called him Big Rob because one of his sons were named Robert too. So he was Little Rob and his dad was Big Rob. So yeah, R.I.P. Big Rob. Hope you got a good party up there and chilling, watching over, doing whatever you want, dude. You earned it. I don't have to worry, you know. I don't have to worry about him, and hope he knows he don't have to worry about us here. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Thanks for listening. Thanks for letting me speak about this topic. I understand the first part, I'm pretty sure the governmental people were like, hey, stop talking about our Medicaid. Like, hey, start helping the people with it, or start doing something, or we will keep on doing what we have to do. We're gonna make it a good a good Earth one of these days. I know that for a fact. But to get there, it's gonna be tough, and it's not gonna be a fast process. It never is, because of how long we waited to, begin the process. So, but I feel like right now the world's on a path where it's like it's starting to actually head into a path that's new. And you know what? I don't know if it's going to be better or worse, to be honest with you all. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and be like, it will be better, because in the end of the day, I can't tell the future. It could be worse. It could be better. Heck, it could all explode one day. End of the world, boom. We don't know. But what we do know is we should enjoy life and the moments we have with our loved ones. And uh, just stay awesome. Yeah, there you go. Peace out and stay awesome, everyone. Stay awesome, Big Rob. And everyone else that you all lost this year, and whenever, you know. Like always, when I do these RIP videos, let me say RIP to all the other good ones that we lost, because we don't want to leave them out. Whoever you're thinking about right now, RIP to them. Well, if they're dead. If they're not dead, oops. Sorry about that. Someone's probably sitting there watching this video at the end here and be like, dang, I was thinking about my grandmother. She's not dead yet, but yeah, my bad about that. I meant the ones that have passed, good ones that have passed. RIP to all of them. Later, everyone. Thanks for watching.